Hi, my name is Ginger Phillips and I'm doing my culture presentation on the culture of Iceland. Just to give a few little facts about Iceland. Iceland is located at the mid-Atlantic ridge where the Arctic and the North Atlantic Oceans meet. The only way that you can get to Iceland is by air only. There's no roads that lead over to other countries to Iceland. Iceland is known mostly for their art festivals, restaurants, and their museums. The next area that I will go ahead and discuss with you is the deep structure of Iceland. Within that, I will be speaking about the religion, the values, and the language. The religion mostly is Lutheran. 85% is Lutheran and Catholic, and they have some Pentecostals. The state church of Iceland is where 85% of the Icelandic attend, and the state church is called the Lutheran Church. It's been the Lutheran Church, and the state church has been the primary church since the mid-16th century. The other parts of the people, the other 15% of the people, are basically free Lutherans or free Roman Catholics. They have a religion, however, they're not as strict as the other 85% of the Icelandese. The second point under the deep structure of culture for Iceland is the value. The Iceland culture is very focused. The number one value in their culture and in the country is the family. They're very connected with the people in their lives. They're very confident and open with others. They take ownership of their outcomes and their actions, and they focus on being financially secure in the future. So it's very important to them that they stay focused within the family and that they stay close to their family. And they treat everyone around them, neighbors, friends, teachers, whomever they are close to, they feel that they should be very connected to them and treat them as their family as well. Third part is the language. The language of the Iceland culture is what they call Icelandic. It's the official language for the country. It's like an Indo-European language. It belongs to the subgroup of North Germanic languages. During their language, the kids will go to school up until they're 16 to their regular primary schools, and then after that they attend college. Everyone is taught English as their secondary language. So everyone over there in Iceland would know how to speak English. Instead of adopting foreign words or outside words that, like for us, would be ain't, or words that just come up that we kind of make and it's not actually in our vocabulary, instead of them adopting those words, they actually go into their vocabulary, pick out words that they feel need to be changed and change them a little bit to actually move in the future. Instead of going in and adopting new words, they just use their old words, but they kind of reinvent new meanings for them to make them do that. In their language, they have 3 genders and 4 cases of nouns, pronouns, and adjectives. And the verbs have 3 persons, so it's kind of different. The Icelandic language is a little bit different from the English. Go on to the second part, the interpersonal protocol. We will be discussing the greeting protocol, the personal appearance, and the orientation to time in the Iceland culture. The greeting protocol is kind of different. The Iceland people do not like foreigners. They don't like strangers. They like to keep it as their family and all the Icelandese. So when you approach them, if you are a foreigner in their country, they will only make eye contact with you at the very first approach. They want to feel you out, see how you are, see what you're like before they actually bring you in as part of their family. So you won't get a handshake, you won't get a smile, you won't get a hug like they normally do to each other. You will get a look at, basically. When you approach them, they don't like your hands in your pocket. They think that's very disrespectful. It shows a closed environment instead of having your hands out and basically telling everyone that you're open. It's just a body language type thing. The Icelandics, when they approach each other and they greet each other by their first name. However, they use Mr. and Mrs. in front of it if you're an older Icelandese. If you're a child, of course, they will call you just by your first name. And after that, they either say good day, good evening, or goodbye. So there's always other things within that during their approaching. When you talk with them, they only want you, your space is 1.2 meters between two people while talking. They feel that gives them a close enough range to hear you, as well enough space to interact with you. The second part of the interpersonal protocol is the personal appearance. The personal appearance, they all wear pretty much the same outfits. The women wear the dresses with the little white caps, and the guys wear the suits. The weather up there is pretty cold, so it's, wearing the dresses and the long dresses and the suits doesn't really, matter to them because their weather pretty much can prohibit that because it's cold, so they need to keep warm. One thing that I found pretty crazy is on the Iceland country. Here, we look upon it or frown upon it, and if you burp or if you sneeze or if you pass gas in front of people here in the United States, they look at you like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's doing that out in public. On the Iceland culture, it's pretty much second nature. They do it if they pass gas, if they burp, or if they even sneeze. You say bless me or bless you, and you go about your business. So it's just like second nature to them. They think it's a natural thing and they don't care about it, which I think is pretty interesting. The last part of it, I would like to talk about the orientation to time. They have great value of punctuality. They want you to make your appointment. They want you to be there early, at least 15 to 10 minutes early, to show the person that you're interested in meeting with them, and that is basically respecting them and thanking them for their time, that they've actually made time enough to be with you. If you're late, they expect you to call them within immediately, if not an hour to two, or give them as much time as possible to cancel on them. Unpunctuality is considered as the lack of credibility. Procrastination is no good. They want to avoid it completely. So no procrastination whatsoever. You make your appointments more in advance than a day. They sometimes like a couple of weeks, if not longer, to make your appointments. So the Icelandese are pretty much on time. Their country runs smoothly. You don't cancel. You go in, you show them respect. Before the meeting and after the meeting, you shake their hand, hug them. It's all just like a big type of family within the Iceland country. The 3 tips that I want to leave for the communication with the culture of Iceland is that I want everyone to remember that for some reason, if you do travel to Iceland, that you remember that everyone speaks English. If they're at a certain age, to where they're almost at the end of school, they should be able to carry on a conversation with you, so you don't need to feel standoffish about talking to them, because they will understand your language as long as you speak proper English. They do have other communications. They have 5 major papers within the country that they use. Their postal service, the telephones, the telegraph services are all owned by the government, so they are up and running. It didn't say much about TVs. I don't know if there's not much television communication there, but I do know that they are the largest country that uses the most internet usage. They are on Facebook, they're on YouTube, so they use the internet quite a bit over there. And just to remember that us or anyone else from other countries known as foreigners, they're not too friendly once you hit their country until they get to know you. So just remember that if you go and you get off the plane and you feel like they're being unfriendly or uncommunicative, they're wanting to process you and be able to see basically why you're there, what you're going to do, and to fill you out, basically, to find out, if they can trust you or not. It's more of a trust thing. It was kind of interesting doing this. I learned a few things about the culture that was kind of different. I think it's amazing that their government or their state or the country itself pays for all of the kids once they go through school, pays for all the kids to go up till 16 in the primary and a high school, and then after that they do get 4 years of college paid by the country, and it's just expected. I think that's a wonderful thing, because I am all for getting schooling, and within the United States I think it's very hard for some children, especially with the poverty level, to be able to get the proper education that is needed to go on. So that is all my presentation, and I thank you for listening to The Culture of Iceland. Thank you.